ways do you feel like you've grown as a leader? Coach Sweeney said he can see obviously that you have. What's your perspective on that?
I think just confidence from having a year under my belt, and also just getting to know all these guys. We've grown really close this off season, this summer, and getting out here in camp. That's what it's about, is growing together. And I feel like we're doing a really good job of that. It's the first day out here on the grass, and I thought we had a good day.
If you had any way to describe the difference between you walking in here last year and walking in here this year, what is that gap?
Just a lot more mature. Grown up a lot in the year and a half I've been here. Got to experience a lot of cool things, and but still, same guy, but just grown up a lot and gained a little weight. That's one thing. But yeah, just matured and got to know these guys a whole lot better. So it's been good.
You don't have to be Superman out there because you got first-round draft picks everywhere. How much of a comfort level does that give you, knowing that you just kind of have to be Trevor and not somebody that you're not?
Yeah, it's great having guys like that. Coach Streeter tells us all the time, just do your job, and everything will take care of itself. Keep it simple, and those guys will make plays for you. And it's awesome having guys out there where you can do your job. Get a one-on-one matchup, you can take it, and you don't really have to worry about them coming down with it, because they do most of the time. So it's not like that a lot of places. So I know how blessed we are to have guys like that.
How do you feel like being a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, is going to affect how you play on the field? Is it going to have any difference? Are we going to see any difference?
Yeah, I think just being able to take some more hits, I think that's the biggest thing, just gain some weight, being able to take some more hits, and maybe run a little bit more if I need to.
Trevor, Coach said one of the keys to this team is going to be seeing the consistency build in these early days of camp. What are the things that you're looking out for, signs that you guys are clicking, that the new players are fitting in with the returning players?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just being mentally tough. I think the first day of camp's always hard, because getting right back into that practice grind, it's tough. 21 periods like today, it's a lot. So you got to kind of get back used to that. Your body has to get used to that, and got to get a little bit more mentally tough. But I feel like we had a really good day of camp. Even just looking back on last year, I feel like we're in a different spot than we were last year. So it was a good first day.
How so? What's different compared to last year?
I just felt like we were a little more prepared this year. Even just timing with the receivers, all that stuff, O-line, more continuity in the O-line, stuff like that. I feel like we're a little bit ahead of where we were.
Trevor, what have you worked on this offseason? What do you think you'll be better at than you were last year?
Yeah, just all the details, footwork, a little bit ball position kind of in my drop, and then also just throwing motion, not dipping the ball when I throw. A lot of things, just timing with receivers. I feel like I missed a lot of deep balls last year, so trying to convert on a few more of those, not overthrow them. So just all those things.
How will camp be different for you now? How will camp be different for you now than last year when you were really competing for something versus this year you're the main guy? Is there a difference in mentality for you when you step on the field?
Not really. You still got to prove it every day. Just because I ended up being a starter at the end of last year doesn't mean that I have that right every day and every week. So I think just being able to prove I'm that guy every day, but also being there for my teammates and being the same guy every day, not coming out here and taking practices off is really important to me.
But there's so much talk about you and Heisman Trophies and another championship and what you've done already. Is it hard to kind of ignore all that and just play football and prepare?
Yeah, at this point, I think in college football there's so much talk. I don't think it's that hard to ignore it anymore. People say crazy stuff, and then, it all takes care of itself in the end. People before the national championship game were saying all kinds of stuff, like we shouldn't be there, we don't have a chance, all that stuff, and it ended up taking care of itself. And that's like anything. It'll all play out. So also, we're not on social media, so that helps a little bit by limiting those distractions.
With all the talent you guys have all over the field offensively, what's the offense's potential in your mind?
Sky's the limit for our group. You saw last year kind of us start flourishing and start clicking, and I think that's one thing we're picking up kind of where we left off from last year, and having a lot of those guys back is really awesome, having that continuity like I was saying, and just the whole unit, the whole offense. We didn't lose many guys. We lost a few really good players, but we also have a ton that have been here, that have been preparing and waiting for their time. So
there's never been a Heisman winner at Clemson. Is that something you make a goal for this year?
It's not really one of my goals. It would be awesome if it happened. That would be obviously little kids, something you dream of, but first things first, want to win a national championship. I think that's our team goal, and I think stuff like that, if it comes with it, that's awesome. But I'm just going to do my job, do what I'm supposed to do, and see how it plays out.
What's it like having you and Travis both kind of top 10, near the top of the list for that going into the year?
Yeah, it's awesome. He's worked for that. He's worked hard, and it's nice having a guy like that in the backfield, being able to help you out. And we can whatever defense wants me to run it, we throw it, we do whatever we need to do. So that's awesome.
You and Travis joke about the Heisman stuff at all? Just have some fun with it, back and forth with each other?
Not really. We don't really talk about that stuff much. I think that's kind of dangerous to start talking about all that stuff, and even joking manners. It's just we kind of stay away from all that and just go to work.
Trevor, what's been Dabo's main message to you going into this season that's really stuck with you going into camp?
There's been a few things that he wants me to work on that we've talked about specifics as far as the game, but also stepping into a new leadership role. I'm in a different spot than I was last year, and I feel like I'm doing that. Learning how to lead a little bit more from a year of experience, and also watching great leaders like Christian and Cleveland and Dexter, all those guys that left. I feel like I'm kind of stepping into that more and more now.
How much of that leadership role can become stuff that you believe, stuff that you treasure, and then stuff that you've learned from others? I know you've had a relationship with Deshaun in the past, and he's one of those guys that people looked up to as a great leader in Clemson's past, and you mentioned those D-line guys. Where do you take the influence of others, and then where do you take your own personal beliefs?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's their own person. I believe that for sure, but it's never bad to learn from what other people did that's good. So I think learning from guys like that is really smart, and I got a year, like I said, to do that, just to learn from them. And I'm going to use all those things that they taught me and that they showed me, and then also just being myself is the biggest thing.
You did something that